So today I want to talk about the movie Obsession. It's a Blumhouse horror movie, and Blumhouse is among some of my favorite productions in recent years. The movie is about a character named Baron Bailey. They call him Bear. He's shy and he works at a music store, and he's been in love with his childhood best friend and coworker Nikki for years. The problem is he's afraid of getting rejected, so he never really allows himself to tell her how he really feels. Well, one day Bear visits this weird little novelty shop and he buys something called a one-wish willow, a toy that promises to grant one wish. Later that night, after again failing to confess his feelings to Nikki, Bear gets frustrated and snaps the toy and makes his wish. In desperation, he wishes that Nikki would love him more than anyone else in the world. And at first, it seems like the wish actually worked perfectly. Nikki suddenly shows up at his door, completely obsessed with him, but Bear quickly realizes something is very wrong. Nikki's love doesn't feel normal or romantic. It's intense, unpredictable, unhinged, and a little terrifying. As her behavior becomes more dangerous and out of control, Bear realizes that the selfish wish has caused something supernatural and horrifying. Now he has to deal with the consequences before Nikki's obsession destroys everything. And this reminded me of an old episode of The Twilight Zone called The Chaser. It's based on a short story, and it has that classic "be careful what you wish for" message. The episode is about a guy named Roger who is completely obsessed with a woman named Leela. The problem is that Leela can't stand him and wants nothing to do with him. Roger gets so desperate that he visits an old man named Professor Damon who sells strange potions out of his apartment. The professor offers Roger a love potion for only $1 and promises it'll make Leela fall deeply in love with him. Roger ignores how weird all this is. He buys the potion and secretly puts it in Leela's drink. Leela suddenly becomes crazy about Roger and wants to spend every second with him, but after a while Roger realizes the potion worked a little too well. Leela becomes super clingy and obsessed with him, and she cries when he leaves, constantly smothers him with attention, and basically turns his life into a nightmare. He's trapped in this miserable life he's created for himself, and that is the classic setup for the movie Obsession. Now, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but the day after I saw it, I woke up and I was still kind of blown away. I think the main thing they got right here was the girl.
Simp.
Because there's very few girls on the planet that can sit in that weird area between cute and hot.
Simp.
And this actress was right there. The actress's name was, and I'm going to mispronounce this, I think it was Indy Navarrete. She played the character Nikki Freeman. So from a dude's perspective, this movie was sort of a test, because she was so attractive that as a dude, when you're watching, you're asking yourself, okay, at what point is enough enough? And it sort of pushes your boundaries. As a dude, you're watching it, and the more crazy she gets, you still try to justify it to yourself, like, all right, but is it really that bad? And she keeps upping the ante somehow, and without realizing it, it gets out of hand and goes to that next level. And then you're just sitting there like, oh shit, it's too late. And that was sort of the deal with this movie. It was like a psychological test on what you as a dude are willing to accept. And if I'm being honest, I've been in relationships like that, where the girl is just insanely cute, and you put up with shit, and you put up with it, and you put up with it, and eventually it gets out of hand. Not to the degree that it does in this movie, but definitely more than you would accept at the beginning. The other characters in this movie, that was the best friend Ian, he was cool, and their friend Sarah. The other thing that I noticed is that they didn't make the black chick the most attractive woman on the earth.
Racist.
They didn't make the black chick the smartest person on earth.
Racist.
In fact, they actually resisted this altogether and didn't put a black chick in it at all. The oversaturation of the black female trope in entertainment in the last few years has everybody sick of it. Even black women are sick of it. We don't need any more Michael Burnhams. We don't need any more Acolytes. We don't need any more G20. We don't need any more Ironheart. It's been done. We don't need any more Sister Sage. Her superpower was literally to be the smartest person in the world. So the absence of this character, the absence of the perfect black female character, was refreshing.
Racist.
In any case, I don't want to say too much more about it because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I highly recommend going to see this movie because it's a good one. Anyway, if you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought. If you haven't seen it, go see it and come back here and tell me what you think, because I think this is one of the greats. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know all the reasons I'm an idiot in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, click notifications, and I will see you next time.